All right, guys, welcome back to another edition of Rebooking every Summer Slam. This time we're going to look at Summer Slam 2017. And just looking at that year, I thought it was a little bit of a disappointment, to be honest with you. Number one, I wasn't a fan of Jinder Mahal becoming WWE champion. I just felt like, you know, the championship lost a bit of prestige when, someone who's been losing a lot, kind of known as like a jobber, you know, gets a title shot and wins. I felt the credibility of the title went down. And then also I was really disappointed in how they used Shinsuke Nakamura when he debuted. Um, he lost to Jinder twice, and then he never really recovered. He lost to AJ at WrestleMania the next year, and I felt like Nakamura, his popularity was, it was really high, and they should have took advantage of it. And another thing I wish they took advantage of was also, you know, Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho, their storyline. I felt like they deserved, a main event level match at WrestleMania for the Universal title. Wasn't a fan of, putting the belt on Goldberg and then again putting it back on Brock. I wasn't really a fan of that. But, I understand Goldberg and Brock are names, so it is what it is. And in terms of this card, I felt like John Cena should have had a bigger match. He fought Baron Corbin, and then also wasn't a fan of Baron Corbin winning Money in the Bank. What else happened here? Randy Orton beat Rusev in 10 seconds. Wasn't a fan of that. Um, yeah, I mean, there was a good tag team match though. I liked how Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins reunited and they faced the Bar and won the tag titles. I also liked the main event. The Fatal 4 was a fun match. You had four big hosses, Brock Lesnar, Samoa Joe, Braun Strowman, Roman Reigns. I thought it was a hell of a main event. But yeah, looking at this card, man, it's been kind of tough. Like, Big Cass and Big Show was not good. What else? Yeah, I mean, uh, you know, yeah, AJ, Kevin Owens, that was okay. It's a little bit too much Shane in that match, but it was okay. Um, and it was a crime also that the New Day were on the pre-show, as well as the Miz. He was pretty hot as an Intercontinental Champion. Yeah, he was on the pre-show as well. So there's definitely things I'm gonna switch up with this card. But let's get into it. Before I actually, I'll tell you guys the card first. There's a pre-show match: The Miz and the Miz Taraj defeat the Hardy Boys and Jason Jordan. Oh yeah, I forgot about that Jason Jordan storyline. Oh yeah, that wasn't good. Anyways, Neville defeats Akira Tozawa to retain the Cruiserweight Championship. The Usos defeat the New Day to win the Tag Team Championship. John Cena defeats Baron Corbin. Natalia defeats Naomi to win the Women's Championship. Big Cass defeats Big Show, and that was when Enzo was suspended, above a steel cage. Randy Orton defeats Rusev. Sasha Banks defeats Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's Championship. The Demon Finn Balor defeats Bray Wyatt. Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins defeat The Bar. AJ Styles defeats Kevin Owens to win the United States Championship, and that was with Shane as special guest referee. Jinder Mahal defeats Shinsuke Nakamura for the WWE Championship to retain, and then in the main event, Brock Lesnar retains against Braun Strowman, Roman Reigns, and Samoa Joe. All right, guys, now let's get into my card. I guess we'll have a couple pre-show matches just because the pre-show was there, right? So I guess the Cruiserweight Championship match, it'll be Neville defending against Enzo Amore. I know they had this feud a little bit later, and that was when as Enzo was kind of like turning heel, but I'd keep him face here, and actually him and Cass would still both be faces, and I'm gonna get to Cass later, but Enzo and Cass want to win some gold in front of their hometown, so that's pretty much a spoiler there. But yeah, the feud could be again like Neville mocking, Enzo. He's saying, I'm the greatest cruiserweight champion. Look at my athleticism. No one could touch me, and then Enzo could, he could just be talking that trash, and then also saying, I got more heart than you. So yeah, that'll be the feud, and I'd actually give Enzo the win just because it's his hometown. I know a lot of people are not a fan of Enzo, but I feel like he'll get a big pop, especially in the Brooklyn area. Um, yeah, so hot way to start the show on the pre-show, and then the next match on the pre-show, I'll have the. Hmm, I hate to do it to these guys, but I'll put the U.S. Championship on the pre-show. I have Sami Zayn defending against Rusev. I'd have Sami Zayn get the belt off Kevin Owens, and you know Rusev would win the number one contenders match, and he could talk about how when he was U.S. champion, that title was credible, but now you got some guy named Sami Zayn and all that, and Sami Zayn could say, although he is not American, he's from Canada. He actually respects the USA, and he's thankful for the opportunity and all that. So that would be the crutch of the feud, and yeah, again, I like the styles. Big man versus the quicker, more athletic, agile man, and I think it'll be a good match. But I actually give Rusev the win, and in my rebooking, I'd actually have Sami Zayn win the Money in the Bank, so he'll be more in the title picture later on, and I think Rusev's always a good guy to reestablish the U.S. Championship. So, all right, guys, that's the pre-show match, and now we're gonna get into the main card. We got the New Day versus the Usos. Yeah, just have the same match they had on the pre-show, but put it on the main card because that was probably the second best match, or maybe even the best match of the night. And yeah, these two have great chemistry. Coming from the epic rap battle they had where, they threw shots at Xavier Woods. Let me just say it wasn't PG, but you guys know the story. Yeah, it's just two tag teams, two top tag teams, trying to claim their spot as the greatest tag team in the era. And I'd keep it the same where they'd have kind of the rubber match, Money in the Bank, Battleground, and then now it's SummerSlam. So each team got, a win each. And each team can, kind of mock the other team, impersonate them, because, they're two like different characters. The New Day are very positive, very funny, outgoing. Usos very, serious, and, they don't play around and all that. So they could, have some fun, mocking each other and impersonating each other, and that rap battle as well would be fun. And yeah, I'd give the New Day the win. I'd have them blow it off again, like in the Hell in a Cell. That's where the Usos, finally end the feud. But I'll give the New Day the win for now. And yeah, again, it should be a great match because it was a great match. All right, next match we got the Hardy Boys versus the Bar. I know they had their feud earlier than this, but I would kind of hold off on the rubber match. I'd have, the Hardys win a regular tag match, and then the Bar win the Iron Man tag match, and I'll save the Steel Cage match. I believe that was like the second match in their feud, but I'll save it for SummerSlam. And yeah, that'll be the blow off match, and I think it'll be a great match. Hardy Boys in the cage is always fun. The Bar were probably, one of the best things of the year. They had great matches all around, and yeah, the Bar can say like, the Hardy Boys ruined their moment at WrestleMania. They're supposed to win, and the Hardy Boys can say, we're still the greatest tag team of all time, and we want to prove it to all you guys. So yeah, same match they had probably, I don't know what pay-per-view it was, but yeah, have the Bar win, and yeah, it should be a fun tag match. All right, now we got the Intercontinental Championship match. Like I mentioned earlier with Enzo, Enzo and Cass are both fighting for titles, and it'll be The Miz versus Big Cass. Big Cass wants to, win singles gold for the first time, in front of, his home crowd. And yeah, The Miz can mock Big Cass and say, you're 7 feet or nothing, you have no potential, you're teaming up with this scrub Enzo. And, Big Cass can be like, you know what, Miz, I got one word to describe you, SAWFT. So I think it'll be good mic work, especially if you have Enzo also, helping Big Cass on the mic. Yeah, and also, the Mr. Raj would be there, so Big Enzo would, come out as well and help Big Cass. And yeah, this is where I'd have, Enzo accidentally cost Big Cass the match. And, that's where, the Big Cass heel turn will happen. After the match, Big Cass gets frustrated and he attacks Enzo because Enzo won his title. But Big Cass, he kind of got screwed by Enzo. So he attacks Enzo and that kind of starts their feud. Obviously, we all know that, Big Cass got injured the next night. Like he injured his leg and then he came back, after WrestleMania. Um, and he had like one match with Daniel Bryan. He got released. So, which is unfortunate, but I guess I can't really change the injury, but that kind of sucks. But yeah, I think it'll be good. I felt like they kind of rushed their, Cass's heel turn. There wasn't really much of a reason for him to turn heel. I know like Enzo, he talks a lot. Maybe he got Cass got tired of fighting for him, but I feel like this will give him a better reason. Where like Enzo, the fans love him, and he won a title, and now Cass, he got screwed by Enzo, so he takes it out on Enzo. All right, next we got the SmackDown Women's Championship, Naomi versus Becky Lynch. Yeah, this will just be, Becky Lynch wins number one contenders match. And yeah, it's a face versus face match. Becky could say, she was the champ, to start SmackDown and she wants, her title back. And Naomi could say, this is a new era. I'm not a part of the Four Horsewomen. I never got the opportunity. But now that I have the opportunity, I'm gonna prove that I'm the best women's wrestler here. So you can kind of build a feud like that, and yeah, they could be like friends, but also have tension and tag matches and stuff like that. So I'd also give Becky Lynch the win. I think Naomi had a pretty good run in real life. She did lose it to Natalia here, so I mean, it's not much of a difference. I'd have her just lose to Becky Lynch, and then I'd have like Becky Lynch, feud with Charlotte down the line. This was before, the man versus the queen, but I feel like Becky Lynch was definitely misused in 2017, and she was, probably this first or second biggest women's star on SmackDown. So yeah, should be also a good match. Technical ability of Becky Lynch, athleticism of Naomi, so should be fun. All right, next we got the Raw Women's Championship match. Alexa Bliss defending against Sasha Banks. This will all come from when Nia Jax injured Bailey, and Bailey and Alexa Bliss were kind of teaming up at this point, and Sasha wants revenge, for her friend, and she wants redemption in Brooklyn. I think it'll be a great moment, and yeah, we all know like these two also didn't like each other in real life, so maybe they could play off that heat where Alexa Bliss could kind of be jealous that Sasha Banks, she's receiving, all this attention and all that for being the first horsewoman, and Sasha Banks could throw shots, but saying, the only reason you're here is because you're blonde and all that, and we know WWE likes blondes, they could do something like that, which will definitely bring some like real heat, to the feud, and I have Sasha Banks win, especially because she hasn't won in Brooklyn. I think only makes sense for her to win, and I believe she did win. This match did happen in real life, and she did win. And then you could build Sasha versus Bailey maybe at WrestleMania, with Bailey trying to get the belt that she didn't lose. All right. Next match we got Randy Orton versus Baron Corbin. So we got the Viper versus the Lone Wolf. So this match could happen. I guess it could have like a some fatal elimination, fatal 4-way for the number one contenders match, and I'd have Randy eliminate Baron Corbin, and then later on in the match, Baron Corbin could come out, give Orton the ends of days, and yeah, that'll set up their feud. And Randy could say like, you're a lone wolf, but what's dangerous in a wolf, a viper. And then when you least expect it, I'll strike. So Baron Corbin could be in like a U.S. title match, and Orton comes out, RKO's him out of nowhere, and yeah, Baron Corbin can be like, I'm tired of the old guard like you, Randy Orton, stopping stars like me from, shining in the WWE. I guess the only way, for me to shine is if I take you out at SummerSlam. So that'll be the match, and it'll be a pretty fun match. Baron Corbin, they're trying to elevate him. So, obviously he fought Cena. So it's kind of a similar match where, he's trying to get elevated. And I actually give him the win just because if you want to elevate him, you might as well give him the win. Also, Randy's kind of bulletproof at this point. He lost to Jinder Mahal like 3 times. So I don't think it's a big deal. And it should be a good physical match. They got battle of the two great finishing moves. You got the RKO versus the Ends of Days. So that should be fun. All right, the next match we got Shinsuke Nakamura versus John Cena. Yes, they did have this match on SmackDown to determine the number one contender, and it was an awesome match. Just save it for SummerSlam. Look at John Cena's history at SummerSlam, who he fought. He fought CM Punk. He fought Daniel Bryan. He fought Seth Rollins. He fought AJ Styles. So he was fighting like the darling of the indies, and I think him versus Nakamura, WWE versus Japan would be, New Japan would be epic. And, Cena could come on and say SmackDown. He says, he hasn't been here in a while and he wants to see who's ready to step up. And, and then Shinsuke could come out with the violin and all that. And he says, come on. And then Cena could do that. You can't see me. And then they kind of shake hands to, establish that would be the feud. And, John Cena could be like, the problem with the fans is they forget about, what I've done in this business. They like to cheer, new people, and they don't really know that all the work I've been in and how I paved the way for other people and all that. So he could kind of be like leaning a little towards heelish, and, Nakamura could come out and say, I'm going to kick your face in, just pretty simple, because I want to be the best. Yeah, so stuff like that. And yeah, you could even have like Nakamura about to hit the Kinshasa and he stops and, he kind of like taps Cena on the forehead. And then Cena could, get him in the AA position. Nakamura gets out and then he does the you can't see me to him. So yeah, it'd be a fun match. And I think, I feel like Cena versus Baron Corbin, the one that actually happened, kind of ruined Cena's streak of hot matches. And this would be, hell of a match. The fans are going to be, all over Cena and cheering Nakamura. And I think this would make sense in Nakamura's elevation to become a main eventer that, he's the one that, gets the rub from John Cena, and he defeats John Cena on a grand stage like SummerSlam. And Brooklyn loves Nakamura because of NXT and all that. So they're going to be singing his theme. So should be fun. All right. Next we got the reuniting Shield. Yes, Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins versus the new Wyatt family, Bray Wyatt, Braun Strowman, and Finn Balor. Yes. So how I'd have this is obviously, Roman and Braun, they're kind of feuding beforehand. So that kind of continues on here. And yeah, I'd have Dean Ambrose kind of feud with Bray Wyatt coming into this show. And prior to that, I'd have Bray Wyatt, defeat Finn Balor, and then Finn Balor joins the Wyatt family. And yeah, they both jump Dean Ambrose, and then Roman makes a save because, he's still friends with Dean. But then Braun comes out because, he has problems with Roman. So it happens for a couple weeks until Seth finally comes out. And, he saves them. And then even Roman and Dean, they still don't know if they could trust him. They have, like, a great promo in the ring where, they kind of hash out the differences and it ends in the fist bump. But then as the fist bump happens, you get the Wyatt, the lights go off. Bray's laughing. And then he says, I'm glad your family's back together. So is mine. And then Braun's in the back. And then you see Finn, also in the background, and he says, "Follow the buzzards," and then yeah, so you know, and then they could just talk about how the Wyatt family, Bray Wyatt, he's always hated the Shield, because they ruined his first family with Rowan and Harper, and now he wants to ruin their family. So it'd be very personal, and then you could have amazing brawls. You could have different singles matches to build the show, and you could have like Seth Rollins, accidentally, hitting Ambrose or something with a chair, and builds tension there, and you just have Wyatt just laughing it away, and then yeah, this is where I'd have the Shield win, and obviously Finn Balor would be playing a game with Bray. He didn't really join him. He would turn on him, and the Shield get the feel good moment win, and yeah, because honestly, I thought the Shield's reuniting was kind of lackluster considering they faced like who did they face? The Miz, Braun Strowman, Kane. That was supposed to be the match anyways too. But Kurt Angle obviously replaced him at TLC. So why not have the Shield moment on the bigger stage? Their first match back together at SummerSlam, and yeah, I feel like the feud will make sense. Especially you got Bray, Braun, they've been feuding with them Shield guys, and then Finn Balor also has been kind of caught into this because his feud with Bray, but it pays off at the end where he turns on Bray and the Shield get the win. All right, now we got the semi-main event, the WWE World Championship. AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens. Yeah, I know they did have the US title match, but let's make it for the World Championship, the WWE Championship. Basically, I'd have who won the title? I guess Randy was coming. Have AJ beat Randy at like Money in the Bank or something, and then have him defend it at Battleground. He's like, "I'm the face that runs the place." Kevin Owens could come out and say, the only reason you're champion was because I was on Raw, and when I was on Raw, I was a Universal Champion. I was a much more credible champion than you are. And AJ could say, welcome to the big leagues, because we all know Raw sucked. And now you're on SmackDown, and you know why SmackDown is better? Because I'm the man who runs it. I'm the face that runs the place. I'm the phenomenal AJ Styles. And they could have some brawls and all that, like referees trying to break him up. And Shane says, he has enough. I'm gonna be special guest referee. And then, Kevin Owens and Shane could also have like some disagreements and all that. And then obviously the history between Shane and AJ. AJ kind of gets worried, like, what is this guy trying to do? And yeah, I think it'll be a good match. Yeah. And I'd actually have Kevin Owens defeat AJ Styles to win the WWE Championship. And that's, Kevin Owens be celebrating. Shane tries to, pick up his hand. Actually, yeah, Shane will miss a call, so whatever. AJ's foot on the rope or something. So, but yeah, Shane will try to raise Kevin Owens' hand because obviously Kevin Owens will like push him off him and say like, "Get off me." And that's when Shane, he hits KO with the low blow. He throws him outside the ring. He does the elbow, and he throws him back in the ring. And that's when Sami Zayn comes out. Because like I told you guys, Sami Zayn would have been my Money in the Bank winner. And he gets his moment on Kevin Owens. Just think of it as, Dean Ambrose getting his moment on Seth Rollins the year earlier at Money in the Bank. This will be Sami Zayn's moment. Everything Kevin Owens put him through. And now Sami Zayn becomes the WWE World Champion. And it'll be a feel-good moment for Sami Zayn to, get his revenge on Kevin Owens, to build the Kevin Owens Shane Hell in a Cell match, and also to build AJ versus Sami Zayn down the line, because Sami, he won, but AJ also got screwed. So yeah, it'll be great storytelling for the rest of the year, and a great moment for Sami Zayn, who definitely deserved it. I believe if you could give the belt to freaking Jinder Mahal, you could give the belt to Sami Zayn. Yeah. All right, now we got the main event of the evening. Brock Lesnar versus Samoa Joe. I saved the Battleground match to here. Keep the same build where, the promos are amazing, where Samoa Joe was like, I did Seth Rollins. I did Daniel Bryan, and then he gets all serious and Brock just laughs at him. And then, Joe's trying to look for him while, there's the interview's still going on and they brawl. You could just have some epic brawls. You could even have, I like that idea where, Paul Heyman, gets choked out by Samoa Joe, makes it even more personal and all that. And, yeah, again, the mic work of Heyman and Joe would be epic. Joe could, Heyman could say like, you're the right guy at the wrong time. You can even talk about him being an impact and all that. And like, you want to make an impact in the WWE. You could just throw some funny lines like that. And yeah, I'd actually have Samoa Joe win. Clean, convincingly chokes out Brock Lesnar. Brock passes out, obviously, because Brock can't tap. But Samoa Joe gets to win, and that's how we end SummerSlam. Samoa Joe, reigns supreme. It's a Samoa Joe era. He definitely deserved it. He was super hot in 2017. The only issue is, he got some injury problems, but, a lot of people do. So it is what it is, and I think he deserved it, and it'd be a great moment. Also considering it's in Brooklyn, Samoa Joe was, he was the man in NXT. Now he's the man on Raw. And, definitely deserves it. So, yeah, guys, that is my SummerSlam card. Let me run down the card for you right now. Here we go. So, pre-show match, we got the Cruiserweight Championship. The King of the Cruiserweights, Neville versus the Certified G, Enzo Amore for the United States Championship. Sami Zayn versus Rusev. And in the main card, we got the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. The New Day versus the Usos for the Raw Tag Team Championship in a steel cage match. The Bar versus the Hardy Boys. Then we got the SmackDown Women's Championship match. Naomi versus Becky Lynch. The Intercontinental Championship match. The Miz versus Big Cass. The Raw Women's Championship match. Alexa Bliss versus Sasha Banks. Then we got Randy Orton versus Baron Corbin. Shinsuke Nakamura versus John Cena. The Shield versus the new Wyatt family, Finn Balor, Bray Wyatt, and Braun Strowman. For the WWE World Championship, AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens with Shane McMahon as special guest referee. And after the match, Sami Zayn cashes in and defeats Kevin Owens. And in the main event, the Universal Championship, Brock Lesnar versus Samoa Joe. So yeah, guys, that is my card. Let me know what you guys think, and peace.